AITA for leaving dinner at my husband's family's house over a comment he made about my miscarriage? My husband and I have been trying to have kids for 3 years. I've had a series of MCs and not a single pregnancy was successful. Our recent MC was a month ago. And although my husband never said anything up until now, these have such trying times for me personally. The tension and emotions are very overwhelming and I've become too sensitive even at the mention of the topic. He took me to his family's house for dinner last night and my MC was brought up by his mom. The look of disappointment on her face made me lose my appetite completely. She went on and on about what may have caused it, then my husband chimed in and said that he's starting to come to a conclusion that maybe I'm incapable of being a mom. I was floored for 2 reasons. One is that he'd even say such thing. 2 is that no doctor has told me that there was something wrong with me specifically, so for him to declare I was incapable of bearing children and being a mom hurt like a sting. I looked at him and he was like, "What?" Then told me to not get offended since he was just being honest. He said he loves me and thinks I'm perfect but still thinks that I'm flawed in that area, referring to motherhood. I had it at that point. I just got up from my seat and took my stuff and headed to the door. I said nothing, just made my way out. He shouted at me but I didn't stop. I went home and he came and started unloading on me about how immature and too sensitive and ridiculous I was being. He said he was giving his honest opinion about the matter and I have no right to police the words that come out of his mouth. Whether I like what I'm hearing or not, it's still the truth. We argued some, then we stopped talking altogether. He keeps saying I exaggerated and walked during dinner and disrespected him and his family over literally nothing. I'm unsure if I handled this the right way, or yet acted out of emotions. I am almost speechless. I am so very sorry for your loss and heartache. Before you consider another try, I think you may wish to re-evaluate whether this is the man you want to parent with forever. His insensitivity is outrageous, and then he doubled down by attacking again at home behind his interpretation of the truth. What a total awe. Please consider counseling for yourself, for your grief, frustration, and to determine whether you really want to continue with this abusive boor. Sue NTA. NTA. It was his opinion and it wasn't based in any medical fact. Miscarriage is a natural thing. It happens quite frequently. About 1 in 3 pregnancies end in miscarriage, and it can happen for a variety of reasons. It says nothing about you and motherhood. Sometimes in nature, sperm DNA can be damaged during sperm production and transport. This damage is known as DNA fragmentation. High levels of sperm DNA fragmentation have been shown to double the likelihood of a miscarriage occurring. So maybe instead of trying to blame you, he should look in the mirror. Maybe it's his low-quality sperm that's to blame. You know? 1. Being too sensitive about miscarriages is not a thing. They're devastating. Your feelings and sadness surrounding them are valid. I am so sorry. 2. Miscarriages very rarely have an identifiable cause. Most likely, the fetus was incompatible with life for some reason. It's not anything you did or didn't do. 3. If everyone who was incapable of being a mom experienced miscarriages, we wouldn't need the foster care system. 4. He doesn't think you're perfect, and at this moment he considers you little more than a potential incubator and believes your value lies in your ability to carry a child to term. You are NTA, but he and his mother absolutely are. NTA girl, don't have kids with this man. NTA. Keep on walking till you run in the opposite direction. You are flawed in this area? Seriously? He is flawed in the most important areas needed for a successful marriage: sensitivity and empathy. Instead of tempering the discussion and moving away from uncomfortable and highly inappropriate commentary by your mill on MCs, he decided to add to the discussion in the most crass way. Nope, not the at all, but husband and mill definitely are. NTA. His comments were way out of line. Then combined with the fact that he said them in front of others is an additional line that was crossed up. I'm sorry for your loss and struggles to have children. I'm sure the stress and emotions are immense. Know that there are many others out there with the same issues, and there are support groups out there and available if you ever need. The inability to bear children in no way means you can't be a mother. NTA, you have not handled it the right way. The right way is to change the locks. Send him to mom and divorce him. Sorry for your losses. You should lose him. What an insensitive awe. The true measure of a person is how they behave in times of pain and sorrow. Both him and his mum failed miserably. You deserve better. NTA. NTA. Please leave this man. I don't say this lightly, but someone who treats you like this doesn't truly love you. You deserve so much better, and the sooner you break off this toxic marriage, the better you can find happiness. Oh God. Your husband is a total ass. Do not have children with a man who talks about you like this. Dodge this bullet and get out now. You aren't policing his words. You are refusing him to casually cruel to you. Edited to add NTA. NTA. So horrifying and unacceptable. You are not too sensitive. He and his mother are cruel, unfeeling dolls. The topic of MC should never have been brought up and commented upon publicly. That is your private pain. And to come right out and imply that you are flawed? What is wrong with him? Honesty in this case is just an excuse for cruelty and bashing you. Maybe couples therapy could help, but I couldn't be with someone like this who is trying to assign blame for infertility, poor social skills and lack of boundaries. This was private info between the two of you, never to be voiced aloud. Heartbroken that this happened to you. But I could not deal with him and his overstepping mother. NTA, you walked out of a horrible situation, and my advice, keep on walking. NTA. What a horrible, insensitive, brutal thing to do to you. And doubling down later and berating you instead of showering you with apologies and care. You walked away from an abusive event. That is courageous and the opposite of immaturity. Your husband is setting himself up as some glorious truth sayer instead of someone who needs to install a filter between his brain and mouth. Pathetic. NTA. Honesty without kindness is cruelty. What he did and said was awful, and for him to say in front of his family without even discussing before makes it even worse. Don't let him gaslight you into believing you're the And how does he know he's not the one with the problem? And if there's an issue with any of you, it doesn't mean you're not capable of being a parent. He was out of line. I'd rethink the relationship with this man. NTA, you need to divorce this asshole. NTA. Probably this won't help you at all, but do you know that sperm quality can also affect the viability of the fetus? Biologically, a pregnancy is carried to term only if the fetus embryo is viable, and for that to happen both the egg and the sperm should be healthy. Maybe educate your husband next time he spews this rubbish about something being wrong with you. NTA. His husband is tall and a big one. Sounds to me like you need to rethink if you want to have children with this dude. People that say they were just speaking a truth when they're really just being drugs suck. NTA. I can't imagine how he would treat you once you guys have kids with all the chaos. I hope you girl think big about this. I'll consider this a huge red flag. What an awe he is for labeling you that way and for calling you out because of how you reacted. NTA. Your husband threw you under the bus and did not have your back. His comments must have been very painful and I hurt for you. How can he say he loves you and hurt you so much at the same time? Being honest is BS. He's a selfish and cruel aw. I would reconsider the marriage because of this. Perhaps you could go counseling together? NTA. Your asshole husband is flawed at being a decent human being.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.